Saturday.
Yeah, pretty sure that's everybody.
Yeah.
Look, you took the loss in Toronto. It's a bad loss.
Bad loss.
First one of the season.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably say for most people. It's going to happen. Just don't make it, a thing, repetition, and habit.
Right. Of course, as you say, no one liked it, but I'm trying to understate how frustrated I was because that was a bad loss. They gave up so many opportunities, bad turnovers. They had chances at the end of the game, and I know the officiating went against them a little bit down the stretch, but I don't know. I'm really troubled right now by the fact that they're just getting virtually nothing out of the bench, Jay. They're getting virtually nothing out of the bench right now.
Well, I think the argument, and I heard you, Styles, and Watkins talking about it, is do they have the opportunity to give something at this point? And, I saw you post something via Twitter /X or whatever you want to call it about 4 guys in the Sacramento Kings starting lineup being in the top 12 when it comes minutes per game, right? Minutes played. Yeah. And so to me, that means the opportunity's not there. That's almost saying the bench hasn't been able to prove if they're good, if they're valuable, if they can add something to the sauce of the pot. And so in reality, I don't know what we have with the bench because they're not playing.
Yeah. What we have clearly is a situation where the coach does not have a lot of faith in the bench. So, based on the way they've played in games, based on the way they're performing in practice. And I know that the Kings, we talked about this too a few moments ago with Styles and Watkins, that Domas is going to play a ton of minutes. DeMar DeRozan led the league in minutes, so that's no surprise. And Fox is going to play a lot of minutes. But Fox and Keegan are so far, they're playing even more minutes than they played last year. Is that sustainable? And that was one of the things that troubled me. It's impossible to know for sure, but they looked a little weary having played so many minutes the night before. So
yeah,
at some point, if you're going to compete in that very difficult West, you're going to need a little more production off the bench one way or the other. If that's bring in more people or just Mike Brown has to trust his bench more. Bottom line to me is some of those guys have to start playing better, and I'm sure they know that, but starting with Trey Lyles.
Yeah, again, I understand what you're saying. I guess if I'm hearing you correctly, please correct me if I'm wrong. The opportunity that has arisen for some of the guys on the bench, they haven't been able to perform to the best of their ability. And you start with Trey Lyles because he is in the position of need, right?
Yeah,
I got you.
And he's very important to them. But obviously they missed Kevin Huerter as well. Anyway, tonight they can wrap up a nice road trip if they can get the W against a Miami Heat team that, again, is they're, I think, 3-2 right now, but it's a very beatable team. So you win this game tonight, all of a sudden you come home and you're feeling pretty good about yourselves on that road trip, despite that tough loss against the Raptors, Jay. So hopefully Kings can prevail tonight. That takes care of a lot of that.
Yeah.
It will.
But, okay, so if
maybe it's just me, but I didn't like that loss.
I was just getting ready to say, is that the Robitussin? Is that the medicine for you?
Yeah.
If they take the loss, if they get the win tonight in Miami, you're good with the loss in Toronto.
I'm not good with it, but I can deal with
stomach
it.
Yeah. Which is the Robitussin. That's what I'm saying. Medicine, medicine is good for you when you need it, but it doesn't really taste that well, right? So you kind of on one of the points of like, okay, I'll stomach it with the understanding of, I know what it really comes with.
Meanwhile, we've got the 49ers back in action next weekend. Did you watch much football yesterday, Jake? There's lots going on in the NFC right now.
Yeah,
Detroit looks good.
They do. They look like a 49er clone. Not playing. But, they look well. They look like the best team in the NFC by far.
Yeah. I wouldn't say this if Drapes were with us. He'll be with us in a moment, so I got to get this out of the way. His Eagles team, their coach is a moron, but they actually played. They're doing a lot of good things. They look pretty good. You got the Rams with a big win. So the division right now, the 49ers can't worry about the top of the NFC. They got to worry about getting out of that division.
Well, I actually thought, minus the Cardinals win, I actually thought the Rams beating Seattle was good for the 49ers because it brings all of them together now. Yeah, they beat Seattle, not the Rams. I'm not too worried about it, and I know that's kind of stepping over the line in the fact that this team is 4-4. I expect the 49ers to beat the Rams at home. Now, how the rest of it breaks down, which will start in division, at this point, the 49ers have to win the 3 inside the NFC West. If you don't win those 3, you probably don't win this division. You still got at Buffalo, at Green Bay. You still have to go to Miami, which is another East Coast trip as well. You got Detroit on the back end, which I believe like week 15 or so. You got the Bears. They have some tough games. Don't get it twisted. I'm not so much as scared by the Cardinals and or Rams and or Seahawks. So I guess I'm saying NFC West. Now, when we talk about the NFC, that's a little different. Detroit looks like a powerhouse right now.
They do.
And they look good.
Good chance they're going to add somebody tomorrow. They're going to add a pass rusher. And I would be surprised if the 49ers don't do something, but it's interesting. A lot of the names you look at that are linked to the Niners, there are a lot of stories surrounding those players that say, oh, they're probably not going to go anywhere. Some of that may be posturing. But Kyle Draper joining us now. We have Kyle Draper.
Drapes in the building.
What's up, Drapes?
Y'all got me or what?
Yeah, we got you. We were just talking about your Eagles, and I'm glad you missed it because I was actually saying nice things about your team. Now we don't got you. Now we don't have them.
Yeah, that was right, you got me now.
We got you. Yeah.
All right. In typical Eagles fashion, fellas, they almost lost that game. So as an Eagles fan, I'm still not happy, man. Some of the play calling from Sirianni, decisions to go for it instead of take the points. The defense, the secondary looked awful when it mattered the most. And so I'm not taking credit for that. Nice win. We move on, but we still got some things to fix.
Can I say this real quick, Drapes? I will say this. And I'm a huge Saquon Barkley fan. I've never really let that out that much.
Right.
Because Drapes, he's on the Eagles. I've always said I'm a fan, but I've always been a huge Saquon Barkley fan coming out of college. Now, I always respected him at Penn State, not a Penn State guy. But I say this, Saquon Barkley looks like the best player in the NFL at certain points in times this season. And I would, if I was a voter, I'd be looking at him as my MVP of the season. I know Derrick Henry has the yards, but Saquon looks explosive. Like he looks like as soon as he gets the ball, it's like he's back in college. He's running against almost, guys that aren't going to be playing on Sunday. He's taking advantage of some defenses.
I could watch the reverse hurdle. I watched it a million times. I can't believe every time I see it. How did he know that guy was there? It's one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. And Drapes, the throwbacks yesterday were sweet, but you mentioned it. Your coach is a moron. Other than him, the Eagles are in great shape.
Right. And the thing about it too, fellas, is, fans are happy about the win, but they're saying we won in spite of Sirianni. Yeah. This guy is helping lead the team to a great start to the season, but he's not going to get any of the credit. I mean, some of the play call, like I said, man, some of his decision-making out there, and then you got a 4th and 1 and you decide to pass it again. It's like, don't you got the tush push that nobody can stop? It's just, this guy is too clever for himself, man. He overthinks things. And so no wonder Jalen Hurts at times looks like he's not all in. I mean, they're winning in spite of Sirianni right now.
But they're winning. So the Kings, are they going to win tonight, Drapes? Can we get back in the win column after I struggled with that loss Saturday? I don't know about you.
Whitey, I'm not going to say because I got to talk him off the ledge. Jay. I got to talk this guy. I'm not going to say I'm struggling with what happened Saturday. They let one go though. That's one of those wins where we look back, we say, man, they somehow found a way to win. They somehow gutted it out. The situation was against them. Back to back. You get in late in Toronto. Almost a schedule loss. If they could have pulled that one out, now you're looking at 4-2, maybe going 5-2 tonight. It's a whole different feel. So I hear you. I just felt like their legs were dead tired. DeMar DeRozan talked about it. He talked about how it took them a while to get flowing, get going, get their mojo. And then they couldn't stop any. They couldn't get the big stop when they needed. And then obviously the final play, a couple of good looks. De'Aaron Fox 2 years ago, fellas, he hits that shot. He was clutch. Every shot he hit was a clutch shot. Every one he took, he made, it seemed like. This year, so far, what was it? The Minnesota game, he had the 17-footer, missed that one. Saturday night, missed that one. It's like those are 2 games right there. If you make those shots, you win. And now we're talking about a different season so far.
Yeah, the turnovers were, I think the turnovers were a reflection of their fatigue. That they didn't defend well either of those 2 games. We just know that they have a chance to do some special things this year. And so it's frustrating when they, as you say, they give one away like that. So hopefully they need one tonight. In my opinion, this is a really big game for them tonight because you get a winning road trip. You're feeling good coming back home. You lose this one, all of a sudden, you got more questions.
And you fall back below 500.
Yeah.
You go to 3 and 4. And, like you just mentioned, if they started this road trip and we said they would go 3 and 1, we'd be like, okay, all right, we can live with that. You probably lose to Miami on the last one, but you come home 3 and 1, you're a game above 500, you're feeling good. I'm with you on it, man. I don't want to say must win, but it's a must gotta have kind of game. You got to get this one tonight.
Yeah. Do we have some Drapes takes coming up? We get
to
that?
Come on, bruh. Is it sunny outside in Sacramento? Is the weather glorious? Is it a day that ends in Y? Of course we got Drapes takes.
We've got those coming right up for you to Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy 2. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM. or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Why'd the kid jump off the boat?
I don't know. Why?
Peer pressure.
Oh, good one, Ned.
Ned isn't funny, but Ned owns a boat, and you don't. So every time Ned tells another one of his unfunny boat puns, you're going to laugh loud and keep on laughing until you get a boat of your own.
A pier where you put a boat.
Yeah, I get it.
And when you do get a boat of your own, make sure you save money by bundling it with your home, auto, or other vehicles with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Tesla, keeping it real to Saturday, November 9th, the venue at Thunder Valley. Tesla, live. The multi-platinum rock band returns with special guest, Fuel. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Tesla, keeping it real to it.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
We take you up to game night. Awkward game time tonight, 5:15. We'll get to that at some point here. There is an explanation. Kyle Draper has pre- and post-game duties tonight. We've got Drapes takes coming right up. Before we get to that, Drapes, I got a big question for you about the game tonight. Huge question. And my sourcing on this is a little iffy, so I could be way off, but I know there's been, I don't know if it's speculation or reporting on Twitter that Colby Jones has been practicing with the starters, and some think he could be in the lineup tonight. Do you have anything on that you can share with us?
I saw the same things. I have not looked into that, to be honest with you. From historically what I've seen, if you're practicing with the first unit, you got that jersey on, especially on the day of a game and shoot around.
Yeah,
that means you're gonna start. You're gonna play with them. I mean, we saw it last week with Dougie McBuckets. We got word that he was going to, start. And so Mike Brown might be thinking outside the box. I don't understand why he wouldn't go back to Keon. Remember, as well as Keon played at the end of last season. It would be a question, I think, come pregame. But remember, Saturday, Chris Biederman of the B tried to ask Mike about the starting lineup, and he basically said, I'm not going to tell you yet. And so it might be one of those situations where when we find out today, it's like, I'd love to know from Mike, hey, what you're thinking with that? I think fans would want to know. I honestly, guys, though, too, when I look at, the Kings and I look at Doug McDermott getting to start Saturday, he didn't get a whole lot of opportunity in the second half. And I don't think he was a problem in the first half. Kings were up 23-22 to start that game. And so I'm surprised we didn't see more of him in the second half. But it goes to show you, and I'll touch on this in Drapes' take. Monty McNair has said depth is one of our strengths. Right now, it seems like it's a weakness of ours.
Let's get to it. It's time for Drapes Takes.
Calm down, Lion. Calm down. Take it easy, man. Just take it easy.
All right, Kings fans, let me start off by saying you got to take it easy. I've been seeing people weigh in. De'Aaron Fox should have passed to Malik. He can't go 0 for 11 from 3. These things happen, ladies and gentlemen. You can't have revisionist history. You can't go Monday morning quarterback and look back and say after the fact, oh, he should have did this. He should have did that. I thought De'Aaron Fox played fine. Sure, the late turnover was tough, but you saw the 2-minute report said he got fouled on that. 0 for 11, that's a tough shooting day. That's tough. That's difficult. When you look at it, he was 8 of 11 from everywhere else. Now, I don't think he forced threes. Like, we can look at the box score, Whitey, and say, 0 for 11, he has to take it to the basket more. Watching that game, I didn't feel like De'Aaron Fox settled. I thought he missed a lot of shots, and we could say that for the entire team. The entire team missed a lot of shots that they normally make. So I'm not going to get on De'Aaron Fox's case. Dude still had 24 points. Yes, he was 0 for 11 from 3. They were mostly good looks. And I would love to hear what Mike Brown said about it afterwards, because I thought offensively they got some looks and they just didn't knock them down right.
Yeah, I thought from the jump, De'Aaron Fox looked just to my eye just a little, I don't know, stiff or something, like he wasn't moving as well as he normally does. But as far as that last shot, if he's on the floor and he's De'Aaron Fox, he's got to take that shot. I understand why people would say, hey, you could hit Malik Monk there. But, I mean, that's that's De'Aaron Fox's shot. That's why he's on the floor. He didn't make it, I know, and he was 0 for 11, I know. But I have no problem with him taking that shot.
I'm with you, Whitey, and it was a straightaway shot, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Top of the key. Those are, other than the corner threes, those are the ones you're supposed to knock down. He just missed that shot. All right, my second take has to do with my guy, DeMar DeRozan. I got to give him a round of applause, man. This dude, the way he put the team on his back in overtime and the fourth quarter, scoring 18 points, I think it was, in overtime and the fourth. He got into his bag, and he nearly pulled off the win there. I thought DeMar was great. Mind you, Whitey, how emotional a night it had to be. You got Vince Carter retirement ceremony. You got DeMar coming back to Toronto. And then you got Drake, so-called mean-mugging DeMar the whole game. Like, for the guy to be focused, he almost went back there and ripped the hearts out of Drake and the Raptors fans. I thought DeMar was fine out there the other night.
Let me ask you, I'm glad Jay is here as my witness. Drapes, you still a Drake guy?
I don't know, man. That's you know what it is. You know
that.
Can't we all just get along? You know what I mean? You know what? I'm a DeMar guy. How about that?
Okay.
I ride with whoever DeMar is riding with. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to even get into this stuff. And we're going to talk about it on the pregame show tonight on NBC Sports Cap. But I'm like, I wish it would have never happened. I wish DeMar never would have appeared in the video, went on stage. I wish Drake and his cronies wouldn't have been courtside. I wish he didn't it's just a bad look for everybody around, man. DeMar is a legend in Toronto. Drake is a legend in Toronto. I hate to see my two guys beefing like this.
Man, you finished Drapes takes. We got more on this.
Come on, Jay. Come on. All right,
You're trying to keep the peace, man. Where are you at with this?
Here's my last take until we could get into this. My last take is this. With that being said, DeMar almost pulled off the heroics. Fox almost pulled off the heroics. I thought down the stretch, it was too much hero ball. And this is the concern I have with the Kings as of right now. And I think it's just going to take some time, guys. When you have multiple closers, it feels like everybody thinks they have the advantage, and then everybody is taking the shots. DeMar felt like he had the advantage late. De'Aaron felt like even Malik Monk.
Yes.
He had one possession where he's going one-on-one with Davion Mitchell. And I'm like, no, that's not the guy you want to go one-on-one with, fellas. Let's move the ball, get some offense going. And so I still think they're trying to find out and figure out how to play with each other down the stretch. Because you guys know it. Why do you know this? On most teams, we know who the ball is, who the person that's going to have the ball in their hands. They may not always take the shot, but they're going to have the ball in their hands. I felt like the Kings late in this game, it was Malik's turn, it was De'Aaron, it was DeMar, and they got to do a better job of saying, all right, DeMar, you're our guy. If you don't have the shot, pass it. Or De'Aaron, you're our guy. If you don't have a shot, pass it. It can't just be one-on-one and then force a shot or try to beat your man. You got to move the ball around, White.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's one thing to have to sort that out at the end of games. And obviously you're right. That's really important. But I thought that was even a problem for other parts of the game. And Mike Brown mentioned it after the game. The Kings had 21 assists, which for them is really low. 2 years ago, they were third in assists. Last year, they were 7th. So far this year, they're 17th. And we know with DeMar DeRozan in there, they're going to be a little more, ball dominant. He's going to be a little more ball dominant here and then. But when they get away from moving the ball the way their offense is designed for it to move, then I think you got a bigger problem.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. It's it got to be a little bit more ball movement. Like you said, 21 assists ain't going to get it done. You got to knock down some threes. I want to see Keegan Murray get going as well one of these days. So that's Drapes Takes, Jay. It's brought to you by
Drake don't even wait.
You killing me, Jay.
You know what? I drug the other cart over that cart.
Uh-oh.
Hold on.
That's why. Dude, Alsco, man. Give it to me again, Jay.
Hold on. I got to find it. I got to go get it now. I covered it up, literally.
This guy. Come on, Jay. I know you got a couple of days off this week, big fella, but come on.
Yeah, it ain't vacation. I wish, though.
Yeah. We'll get to that. We'll get to our sponsor. But, yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, Drapes, about the ball movement, because it's one of the things that, to me, about that loss was a little unsettling. And for Mike Brown to mention it, clearly that's, it's something that's got to be addressed here going forward.
Yeah. And here's a bonus Drapes take, if you will, too, Whitey.
Yes.
I mean, you can't let a guy like Chris Boucher come out there and act like he's Larry Bird out there the way Chris Boucher was shooting. I mean, Chris Boucher should never score 24 points. And this goes back to a problem that the Kings had last year. And I'm not saying I'm concerned right now, but this is something they got to nip in the bud. Mm-hmm. And it's not fourth quarter or overtime. It's right from the get-go. This is the NBA, fellas. If a guy gets confidence, Chris Boucher, the basket looked like the ocean to him, the way he came off the bench. You got to make sure you cut off his oxygen right from the get-go. Instead, they let him get confident. He finished with 24 points. Come on, man. He can't. Chris Boucher should not, like I said, never be scoring 24 points, against the Kings. And so that's my bonus Drapes take. Jay, do we got it now?
He's still working on it over there. He's working on it. We'll get it. Yeah. I got a theory, Drapes. I want to run this by you. You may actually know, you may have some insight into this. The Kings have been giving up a lot of open threes this year, uncontested open threes, a lot of them. And they, sometimes that's okay, you think, but then a guy like Boucher, it's like, we thought we could leave him. Anyway, my theory is, and I got to ask Mike or somebody about this, I think they're playing a lot of kind of a form of pack line defense to prevent the dribble penetration, where you kind of, it's like a sagging man-to-man. So you're sinking into the paint. You're putting pressure on the ball, but you're more concerned about sinking into the paint to prevent penetration than you are with the guys making threes. And I think what's happening is they're giving up the open threes. And then again, Boucher, the classic example, guys are just making them. But I think some of that is because of the way they're defending this year, but I don't know that for a fact. And I have to check into that.
Yeah, but I think what you're seeing, and it goes conversely with that, Whitey, is the deflection numbers, the steal numbers are higher. They had 16 steals. How you lose a game when you get 16 steals the other night? And so you might be onto something with that. They may be sacrificing the three ball, by digging in and cutting off the lanes to the basket and getting their hands on it. But then is that opening up things for guys like Chris Boucher or a guy like RJ Barrett knocking down three the other night?
Yeah, and obviously they're not playing the same defense all the time anyway. They're mixing it up, but they are doing a great job when the ball goes into the post. There's like all of a sudden it seems like 15 guys collapsing on the post and the hands are very active. So there has been some upside, but that's it's like the Dwop Reith syndrome, right? Where Dwop Reith goes off on you, and then Chris Boucher's been a nice player for a long time, but he's not that good. And the Kings
he's not that good.
It seems like the Kings get burned by that.
Yeah, and defense, to start the season, I think we talked about it on Friday. They were 9th in defensive rating. I think they're 16th now. So 1 or 2 games can change it just like that. And so, and tonight this will be a test. Miami is pretty much healthy. I do believe I got the injury report right here. Miami, Jaime Jaquez is out. So that's a big loss for them. But they still got, Tyler Hero is going to be out there. They still got some weapons, Terry Rozier. And so let's see how they do defensively against this team tonight.
I'm wondering if this is NBA history with 2 teams playing each other, both of whom are traveling from different countries. Because they were in Mexico and the Kings were in Canada. And now I don't know if that's ever happened before. I don't know if it means anything, but yeah.
Yeah, not even just out of the country, in totally different countries. Yeah, why do you leave it up to you to think about that, man? I hadn't even thought about it, but you might be right.
Maybe so. Yeah. Yeah. Why don't you see what your buddy Jay has for you?
Jay, I just wrapped up Drapes case. You know who it's sponsored by, right?
By Alsco Uniforms. Discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco Uniforms.
Man, this dude, finally.
Hey, man, listen. I tried to hit the track. I accidentally brought one track down, and it deletes that track.
Yeah,
got a lot of things going on, man.
I see.
Not like I got one big bright red spot that says hit Alsco.
Hey, as much as they paying the station, you should, bro. Shoot,
might be right. Now I'm not gonna argue.
When we come back, Drapes, you being a Philly guy, I got to see what you think of this Joel Embiid situation. Okay. And we'll look at a big Sunday in football, what it means for the Niners, even though they didn't play, as we roll on Drive Guys. Sacktown Sports.
Black Friday is on its way at Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet, and there's no better place to shop for all your power tools. Low price Makita Bear tools starting at $89. Makita batteries starting at just $49, and many more of the year's hottest deals. November 25th through December 2nd. That's right, 1 whole week of crazy deals on power tools. So don't forget, our Black Friday sale will be November 25th through December 2nd. Check us out at 6701 Power Inn Road or online at fastenersinc.net. The next election is November 5th. Vote centers open October 26th. Remember to vote early and avoid the lines. Learn more at elections.saccounty.gov or call toll-free 800-762-8019.
Don't miss Stoney's Rockin' Rodeo's 17-year anniversary bash this Saturday night with a free tri-tip dinner. That's right, free tri-tip dinner and free late-night biscuits and gravy. So don't miss Stoney's 17-year anniversary bash this Saturday night, plus free dance lessons, sing some karaoke, or ride Stoney's mechanical ball. I'll see you on the dance floor.
At the law offices of Dale R. Gomes, we understand that when you're facing a crisis, you need more than just a lawyer. You need a team. Our dedicated attorneys work together, combining decades of experience to guide you through personal injury or criminal defense matters with care and expertise. We're committed to supporting you every step of the way, ensuring your voice is heard and your rights are protected. With offices in Sacramento and El Dorado County, reach out to the law offices of Dale R. Gomes today, 916-999-9033, or online at dalegomslaw.com.
At Elk Grove Honda, not only do we have a great selection of pre-owned certified cars at very fair prices, but every one of our pre-owned automobiles are treated with kid gloves with a 182-point inspection that covers everything from unibody to tires to brakes and engine filters. Then our certified cars receive a mobile oil change and fresh fill-up with full synthetic mobile oil. We know you have lots of choices of where to purchase your next car. Come to Elk Grove Honda, home of the 182-point inspection and mobile oil change. We're in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
Facts are facts, and the facts show that for eliminating hip, knee, back, leg, and foot pain, it's the Good Feet personalized arch support system, clinically proven to provide significant pain relief in only 4 weeks. Good Feet arch supports are designed to help put your feet and whole body back in pain-relieved proper alignment. Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Book your free fitting at Good Feet in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Don't you deserve healthcare you can count on? Well, you can count on United Healthcare. With Medicare plans that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow, you can enjoy reliable coverage and low out-of-pocket costs with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans, made for California, trusted everywhere. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today.
Atlanta and Toronto, where you had you did a fine job on the play-by-play.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, neither game they played their best. Let's
Right.
keep it real. Like, I didn't come away thinking, man, we're clicking on all cylinders or anything like that. I thought, Friday's game against Atlanta was a game in which you gutted it out. You pulled it out. You didn't play your best. You let Atlanta and Trae Young get going in terms of making plays late in that game, but you pulled it out. You held on, and so that happens in the NBA. And then I will say about that Toronto game, guys, we didn't get to the hotel in Toronto till 3 a.m. By the time we flew and customs and all that, and they just had a walkthrough. Not a practice or anything like that, but it was clear they were a little, fatigued in terms of legs early on. And then you got the Vince Carter factor. You got DeMar coming back. The energy was juiced in that arena, and the Raptors came out. That's the one thing about the Raptors too. When you talk about, and we'll see them Wednesday at Golden One Center, Whitey, they play hard. The Lakers were up by like 26-28 on them on Friday night, and the Raptors stormed back to make it a game. And so they may not be good. They may not have a great record or anything like that, but they play hard. And I felt like they were quicker than the Kings on Saturday night.
Yeah, but and you just mentioned it. They had played the night before as well. So yeah, the Kings were playing 2 and 2 nights, but so were the Raptors. And I know they were home, but obviously it didn't seem to affect them as much as it affected the Kings. There's also this, Drapes, Banta the Young and others mentioning here in the chat. I noticed Fox's finger thing in person when he hit a 3 against the Lakers and looked down at his fingers. And here now says, I've just got to play through it. But he says it's probably a ligament thing. So that's one of these things, anytime he misses a shot or has an off shooting night, we're just going to wonder. We're never really going to know how much it's bothering him.
Right. And, we saw him the night before against the Hawks. He was 4 of 6 from 3 range. And so I don't want to use every time he missed a shot, oh, it's the finger. It's probably some sort of combination of an off night and the finger, and so that happens. 11 threes is a lot, but, it's today's NBA. Guys are chucking them up, guys are getting threes up. And as long as they're the good type of shots, I think Mike Brown will live with it.
Yeah, the Kings are taking about just under 40% of all their shots taken, not makes or made percentages of all the shots they take. Just under 40% of them are threes, and they're way down the list on that. There's teams taking more than half of their shots this year, which we'll get into, and they're shooting threes. So the Kings, everybody's shooting a lot of threes right now. How about this year? Oh, some people coming after Mike Brown. This is from Bill and Amy, but I'm just going to say Blandamy because I like that better. Blandamy says, Coach Brown, let's see, something about.
I have no idea what that says.
Yeah, well, there was a different one here. Here we go. We're talking about players being off, but how about our coach? He has not been looking good. And so I know some fans are saying, well, the bench isn't performing because the coach isn't playing him. And I think it's the other way around. I think Mike Brown looks at that bench and he says, I just don't know if any of these guys are going to get it done. So it's, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Are they not playing well because they're not playing more, or are they not playing well because the coach knows they're not going to play well?
Well, let's look at the bench. So let's talk about it here, Whitey, because we know Keon Ellis should be in the rotation, right?
Yes.
We know Trey Lyles should be in the rotation, although Trey only played 12 minutes and change against the Hawks. I mean, the Raptors. That's concerning right there. Trey has not been good this season, and you've been harping on it. We got to get him going somehow. But does Doug McDermott deserve more minutes? Does Jordan McLaughlin? Jordan McLaughlin only played 5 minutes. You can't show me anything in 5 minutes, really. I need more minutes than that. And so when I look at a guy like Jordan McLaughlin, and all his minutes came in the first half, Whitey. Think about that. And so I'm looking at the second half minutes. Malik played 19. Doug McDermott, who started the game, only played 5. So he really didn't even get a chance in the second half. And so, you might be right. Maybe Mike doesn't have the faith in these guys, but how are you going to get faith if you don't, run them out there? You got to give them a shot, man. And I think this is the second year in a row that, we're seeing him, Mike talking about Mike, not trusting the bench just yet.
And Alex Len had been playing. He'd been part of the rotation. And then against Toronto, he was a DNP. He
didn't play at all.
Yeah. So,
it's a little confusing, man. And I'm never going to question, second guess the coach. But, I would like to know why. Was it a matchup situation? I mean, you got Domas played 43 minutes, and you said it last week and the last 2 weeks. Maybe he's chasing wins. He wants these wins so bad. He's just going with the guys he's, trusting. Right now, we got a 7-man rotation, 7.5-man rotation. It's too early in the season for that.
Yeah, and the minutes are piling up early.
Yeah.
So major minutes for your big, those guys are going to play a lot of minutes anyway. But, DeRozan and Domas are going to play a ton of minutes they did last year. But you got Keegan and Fox. They played a lot of minutes last year. They're playing even more this year. So you just wonder how sustainable that is. We'll see.
Yeah. And the thing about it is Mike has gone on record and said, I don't want to play these guys this many minutes. This is yet it constantly continues to happen. And so we will see. And I was surprised too on the second night of a back-to-back, you would think, in the first half, you give guys a few more minutes or something, and it just didn't happen. And so I don't know. I don't know where the rotation is. I feel like there's 7 guys right now Mike can count on, Keon Ellis and Malik off the bench. Everybody else, you somehow got to show them something to get out there on the floor.
If Colby Jones does start tonight, and it looks like there's some indications that he will, we don't know for sure, maybe that is an effort by Mike Brown to try to get somebody in a position where they can start to contribute more. I don't know. I'm very interested to see how that goes, but that would also suggest that maybe Kevin Huerter is still sick, which is not good. And I know we don't know, and I don't mean to spend a lot of time here speculating, but I'll be very interested to see how that develops tonight.
Yeah, Kevin Huerter is still listed as questionable with that illness. And yeah, I mean, and here's the thing too, let's say, Kevin Huerter can't go tonight, as I pull up the most up-to-date injury report. Kevin Huerter is out. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Kevin Huerter,
No, thank you.
Yeah, is definitely out tonight. So who's it? Who's it going to be? Like, did Doug McDermott look that bad the other night that he can't get another crack at it? Where's Keon Ellis? Why not Malik Monk once? It's I don't know, man. That's why it would be nice to have boots on the ground and be able to ask some questions. And maybe Chris Peterman will ask it. He's down there in Miami. Katie's obviously down there. Maybe one of those two will ask. And so as we try to figure out, like, what's going on with this rotation right now?
Yeah, it just almost seems like there's a disconnect somewhere where if you go out and get Doug McDermott and then he starts, but he's not playing. It's like, well, why did you get him if he's not going to play? But yeah, we'll see. So hopefully they get the win, come home with a winning trip, and then things would feel a lot better if they do. I want to ask you, Drapes, you being a Philly guy, I know you're not there now, but what did you make of this Joel Embiid situation? He was involved in an altercation with a columnist in the locker room on Saturday night, shouting at him, apparently gave the writer a shove, and the team has told the writer that, look, what he did was way out of bounds. It's not acceptable. The columnist apparently said, essentially, Joel Embiid has told his son that he wants to be a good example, and his son, who's named after his brother who died, well, you can't set a good example if you don't show up to work. And Joel Embiid took umbrage at that. What do you make of this thing?
I think it was a cheap shot by the columnist.
Yes, I agree.
I'm like, dude, there's a million other things you could come at Joel Embiid. Like, you could criticize the conditioning, but to frame it using his brother and his son,
I agree,
and sort of as a juxtaposition, like, on one hand, you're saying this, Joel Embiid, but on the other hand, you're doing this. That's a low blow. That's a cheap shot. And, I was listening to XM Radio earlier today, Sirius XM Radio, the NBA channel, and one of the callers said, this columnist hit Joel Embiid where it hurts. That's the part that's sort of tender with him. It hurts. And so I get it. I get why Joel Embiid would be upset. Do you want to put hands on somebody? No, but I get it. I mean, he's human. I mean, altercations happen. This is life. Everything's not going to be all kumbaya, hunky-dory or whatever it is, like, these things happen. And I thought it was a cheap shot by that columnist.
I'm with you, and I give Joel Embiid credit. At least he, confronted the guy about it. What do you expect when you write something like that about somebody? The team, I guess, given, as you say, that there was some physical act involved, the team has to side with the writer. But you're right. That was very cheap. And Joel Embiid's not going to get an apology, but I think he deserves one from the writer. I'm with you.
Can I say something real quick, Whitey? Because I'm very disappointed in the state of life right now in terms of the human race. Did you see Jason Kelsey's incident too over the weekend? It's like, what are we like? Where's the humanity, man? Where's the, and it's like in sports media, I'll stick with that. It's like, we don't have to take shots at these guys. Like, you want to criticize their play, okay. But to bring in family, it's like, that's why we get a bad rap. That's why athletes don't want to talk as much anymore. It's just disturbing, man. I'm just disappointed in the way things are right now.
It's like that commercial with Doc and Harbaugh and everybody. Time out. Hey, it's getting out of hand out there. Hate is winning.
Yeah.
Hate is winning. So hopefully we can get something done about that sooner rather than later. When we come back to football, we got the list here of potential NFL MVPs, and it's stunning. And it's next with the Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Did you know that replacing garage doors is the biggest return on investment homeowners can get on improvements? Jason Ross here, and let me tell you about the Overhead Door Company of Sacramento, a family-owned and operated company with third-generation owners that's been in business for 71 years right here in Sacramento. With new garage doors from Overhead Door Company of Sacramento, You'll not only get the wow factor, but you'll also know that you're working with a well-respected and proven company. Residential and commercial, brand new garage doors, or repairs to existing doors, they do it all. Take advantage of their free at-home estimates on new garage doors or check out the showroom with no appointment needed. And while you're at it, mention me, Jason Ross, or Sacktown Sports and receive $100 off a new garage door paired with a new garage door opener. Check out their website at ohdsac.com or call them at 916-421-3747. Overhead Door Company of Sacramento, the genuine, the original overhead door. Always look for the red ribbon logo.
I'm Brian Tedesco, CEO of Blaupunk Americas, the pioneers of the car stereo. Today, we're not just about sound systems. We are revolutionizing the e-bike scene with Blue Dot Bike. Thanks to AmericanEagle.com, our online presence now features a dynamic e-commerce website that showcases the quality and affordability of our foldable e-bikes. And our collegiate e-bikes, just perfect for the college fanatic. These e-bikes offer a new way to experience freedom on two wheels, no matter your age. When we needed a top-notch website to match our cutting-edge e-bikes, we turned to AmericanEagle.com. They made the impossible seem easy, tackling digital challenges like pros. Check out the Blue Dot Bike website to see AmericanEagle.com's amazing work in action. Need the best in website and digital marketing solutions? AmericanEagle.com is your go-to. They've been a game changer for us, and they can be for you too. Visit AmericanEagle.com or call 877-WEB-NOW-1. That's 877-WEB-NOW-1.
Carmichael Dave with a simple question. What are you thankful for this year? So many things to consider, but one thing we can all agree on is a well-running vehicle to get you where you need to go each and every day. Jiffy Lube would like to say thank you to all their customers this November. Whether a weekend road trip to Lake Tahoe or your daily commute to work, Jiffy Lube has you covered. Serving the greater Sacramento area since 1984. Visit jiffylube.com today to find a location near you, generous oil change coupons, and more. Happy Thanksgiving and holiday driving from Jiffy Lube.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cars and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cars Show that airs right here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Taste on a whole new level at Sky River Casino in Elk Grove. Enjoy the height of hospitality, whether you're craving an upscale steakhouse, authentic Chinese hot pot and dim sum, or having a refreshing beverage while watching the game. Visit skyriver.com today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Model year-end pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the model year-end event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at folsomlakehonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at folsomlakehonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
Yeah, everybody around the country bracing for tomorrow. Should be a cataclysmically important day because, of course, tomorrow is the NFL trade deadline. The 49ers are looking at a number of defensive linemen. Calais Campbell mentioned. Jadeveon Clowney has been mentioned, maybe. Devon Godshaw. Here, Drapes and Jay, here's something I wish a team like the 49ers would do. Baseball teams do this now and then. I don't think football teams ever do this. Zadarius Smith is an excellent defensive end, and it looks like Cleveland's going to trade him, and most people think he's going to the Lions. Well, if I'm the 49ers, I get him because I could use help there, and I keep him from going to the Lions, but football teams never do that. I don't know.
Because, man, they're trying to be on the up and up, man. It's like, now, what if somebody does that to you? You know?
What they need, I mean, they could use him, too. He would help them. You know, Zadarius Smith would help the 49ers. I think they're looking for somebody maybe who plays more inside, but we'll see. I'll be surprised if they don't do something, but the Lions are, I mean, you've seen them, Drapes. The Lions are really good.
They are, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to do whatever you can to disrupt your
Yes.
a rival opponent in the NFC. I'm with you on that. What if they don't like the guy, though?
Maybe, but
maybe their evaluation is different. I don't know.
I don't care. Just keep winning from the Lions. You're not going to play. We just didn't want you to be on their team. So go sit down, make yourself comfortable. And then, Christian McCaffrey is at practice today. And so 49ers are excited. And I can see if they are able to get a guy or two that's going to help tomorrow, then, everything looks a lot brighter for them. But Drapes, as Jay and I were talking about earlier, for the 49ers right now, forget the Super Bowl, forget the NFC. They got to win the stinking division.
Yeah. I mean, because I think only one representative from the NFC West is going to get in. And so you may not be a top seed or a top 2 seed or have home field throughout, but you got to win the division. And that's still there, Whitey. It's not like, that's, the number 1 seed probably not going to happen. 2 seed probably not going to happen. But as long as you get in with that talent and that roster, nobody would want to face the Niners. A healthy CMC back, come on now. Nobody would want to take on them.
Yeah, the season is pretty much half over. And so I'm looking at this list here from NFL.com, their top 5 MVP candidates. And Jay won't like this because his candidate's not on here based on what he said earlier. But they have their top 5 candidates, NFL.com, for MVP. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. Okay, well, that's not really a surprise. Then you got Jared Goff 3rd, Jaden Daniels 4th, and Kyler Murray 5th, which just tells you how crazy this first half of the season has been. And all those guys deserve that based on how they've played so far.
What? Kyler Murray 5th?
Kyler Murray's incredible. That team's playing well.
They're all right. I mean, that's I'm on DraftKings.
Uh-huh.
And who'd you have 1 and 2?
Yeah, this was NFL.com. They have Josh Allen, then they have Lamar Jackson.
So, DraftKings has Lamar as the favorite, Josh Allen. Patrick Mahomes, the 3rd choice. Jared Goff, and Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
Guess who's tied with Jaden Daniels for the 5th choice?
I'm guessing it's going to be, let's see,
Saquon Barkley.
My boy Jalen Hurts, fellas.
Oh, yeah. Come on, man. What kind of list is that?
Sign him up, kid.
DraftKings must be a tipping the bottle.
Yeah. You have Derrick Henry pretty high on your list, don't you, Jay?
Yeah, I think he's up there, too.
He's amazing, and the Cowboys didn't want him? Okay.
Yeah.
Great move there.
Well, it's to you see prototypical NFL's all about the quarterback. I thought for sure Patrick Mahomes was going to be on there, and I was getting ready to cut the show.
Uh-huh.
Like if Pat Mahomes is on this top 10 list of 5, I was going to cut the show.
Undefeated, Jay.
He ain't did nothing, man. That dude averaging $101 through the air, man.
Oh, man.
They're averaging like 3 yards an attempt.
Yeah.
But it's working.
Defense carrying his butt.
Yeah.
Time to start talking about the real.
No, you're right.
Defensive MVP over there, Chris Jones.
He's not getting it. He's not getting it. Patrick Mahomes ain't getting it this year.
Yeah, but all of those guys are quarterbacks.
Yes.
Every single one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you telling me Justin Jefferson is not up there, Derrick Henry, Saquon is not balling? Like, come on now, fellas.
Yeah, but we're talking about 2 different things. Drapes is talking about the odds.
Right.
And I'm just talking about some guys' list.
Who was it? Who was it from NFL.com?
NFL.com says.
Who was it?
Josh. Oh, I have to check.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
I thought you meant who was on the list.
No.
Check that for you. This really kind of knocked me for a loop last night. And it's fine. I don't have a problem with it. But they showed Justin Jefferson last night playing against the Colts. He plays with a diamond necklace on. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah.
It's a nice one.
Plenty of people, though. Not the only one.
It just surprised me that, that pro football.
Where you been, man?
I don't have a problem with it.
College players were playing with Rolexes on right now. Dude, he didn't say 1983, man.
Somebody gives him the horse collar. Good night.
Man,
good night, diamond necklace.
Half the quarterbacks, wide receivers, and running backs got on jewelry these days.
Huh.
Safety, defensive backs. The second string punter got on the chain at this point.
Yeah. I'll say this about your Eagles. Yeah. Drapes, obviously the Saquon Barkley play yesterday we'll be watching that for the rest of our lives. But wasn't it Devontae Smith with the one-handed catch in the end zone?
Yeah. Hey, we were making plays all over, big fella.
That's honestly, that I would never tell you this if you were here. That's one of the greatest catches I've ever seen. It was incredible.
And
Yeah.
then
That was amazing.
The feet in and then the shin in also. No, man, our boys was making some plays. And how about the defense coming up with an interception? I mean, I was watching that game. I was actually watching it on the airplane flying back last night. And you ever see that meme of that one guy with the sweat be coming down his face? The way he's looking nervous. And that's how I was on the plane, man. I was like, we're going to lose to these jokers. And then I got to have Jay and Whitey clowning me. Who are you giving a salute to? Don't tell me High Flyers there already.
High Flyers here, and he gave me that look like, oh, wait, I thought our show was starting.
Yo, can I tap out and let High Flyer do the rest?
High Flyer, did you, was there a miscommunication scheduling wise?
No, I came extra early today.
Oh, he came extra
early today.
Yeah. All right.
I want to talk to KD.
Yeah. He wants to talk to you, Drapes.
Okay, we'll wait till next hour. Hold on. Let's come back.
We're here early, 45 minutes.
The High Flyer got here early because he wants to talk about Drapes, about what we'll find out next. Sacktown Sports.
Robinhood is introducing forecast contracts so you can trade the presidential election. Through Robinhood, you can now trade financial derivatives contracts on who will win the U.S. presidential election, Harris or Trump, and watch as contract prices react to real-time market sentiment.
Hey, what's up, Sacramento? It's Kyle Draper. Turn up the cleanliness at your restaurant, healthcare, or industrial business with Alsco Uniforms, the official sponsor of the Sacramento Kings mop crew. We've got you covered with crisp uniforms, hygienically clean linens, floor mats, and, of course, mops delivered weekly. But that's not all. Alsco Uniforms also offers weekly services for first aid and restroom supplies. Discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco Uniforms. Just go to alsco.com to learn more. Again, that's ALSCO.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Getting ready for more rain and longer nights? We've got you. Right now, you can earn up to $25 in bonus rewards when you buy 2 Sylvania Silver Star Ultra bulbs and 2 Rain-X Quantum Elite wiper blades. More rewards and better visibility at America's #1 lighting destination, AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Offer valid for AutoZone Rewards members. Restrictions apply.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Michaela's Mobile Spa, Michaela got a quick business insurance quote from Progressive and chose from over 30 customizable coverages. Sure, it helps she's her only employee and does literally everything. But while others would rest on their laurels, Michaela was hard at work saving big. So take that, hypothetical other employee who doesn't exist. Be your own Michaela. See if you could save in as little as 7 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage is not available in all states or for all vehicles and coverage selections.
Don't let cold season make you miserable. Try the quick, drug-free solution for nasal congestion, Navage. Navage uses gentle suction to flush out your sinuses with refreshing saline, helping you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier all winter long. And here's even better news. Navage is now available at select Costco locations in a great new value pack. It's everything you need to start breathing better fast. Check out Navage at your local Costco today. Navage, Navage, breathe easy.
Insurance companies perform a very valuable service, but they want to keep their money. Although most cases settle before trial, it is paramount that the insurance companies know that if pressed, your legal team has the experience to take your case all the way. For 25 years, Ashton & Price has earned the reputation that if the insurance company isn't fair, we're ready to force them to be fair. My mom used to warn me, wait till dad gets home. Think of us as dad. The best part, there's no fee until we win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
KHTK-HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140. Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Drive Guys taking you up to game night. Henry Turner in studio with us. We got Drapes standing by in San Francisco. He's got pre- and post-game duties tonight on NBC Sports California. And High Flyer and I were just talking about the ins and outs of zone defense.
Isn't that a shame? We got to talk defense.
Yeah.
A zone.
Yeah.
The rules of how you run a matchup zone.
But I know you had something you want to either ask Kyle about or discuss with him.
KD, my man. I'm glad you're back. I see the look on your face. I'm glad you're back.
Let's see where you're going with this, High Flyer. What you got, big fella?
I'm just saying, do I supposed to be warm and fuzzy about the Kings going in, playing an undermanned team? Should this be an easy game, HT? No, it's not an easy game. Why shouldn't it be? They're undermanned. You're playing second string guys. I say, no, KD. I'm still worried about this game. I'm still worried about this game.
I was the one that was worried.
Hey,
Whitey
I said
was
the
the
Kings.
one.
Oh, is Whitey now?
Well, that was the Atlanta game. That was the Atlanta game.
No. We was talking about Toronto because those guys were out. Scooter Barnes was out.
Okay, then I was not part of that conversation.
I'm like
that
the Kings. I said the Kings. Okay. Well, my thing was the Kings have no easy games. I don't care if the starters are there or not. You have to come in with the right mindset. KD, when I was a rookie and I came into the NBA, and it was like this. We didn't have many nights like this, but we had some to where we played teams that was undermanned. And our starters came in the locker room and said, hey, check this out, fellas. We only playing 20 minutes tonight. So you guys be ready to play. We're going to come in. We're going to hit them hard. We're going to get up by at least 15 to 20 at halftime, and you guys close out. And they were serious about that. They were dead serious, and then we policed ourselves. If halftime came and we were only up 7, we looking at the starters like, hey, man, you know, y'all ain't doing what y'all supposed to be doing. Y'all playing. What y'all doing? Get your mind right. And that's what it really has to be when you come up against these undermanned teams. You can't look down there and say, oh, well, it's an easy night tonight. No, you got to go out there and take it. You got to make it an easy night. So when we go out and we watch the Kings.
Shouldn't they have learned that last year?
Thank you. How many games did we see that last year? That's why I was like, there is no easy games for this team. Until they get the mindset of come in, conquer, and crush, we're going to have these games where we get undermanned teams and they beat us.
Yeah. But who's that on, High Flyer? That's on the star players, right?
You know what?
That's on the stars to go out there and handle their business, right?
You know what, KD? I mean, today's guys are a little bit different, but if I'm there, it's on a little bit of everybody because, you know, I'm not never at Mike's practices. I can't say what he says and what he don't say. I really don't know. But I tell you what, I would have had at least a boot and a quarter of my sock and some booty that night because they didn't play up to par. Mm-hmm. I would have really dug into my players deep on that game because you just got away with it.
Hold up, High Flyer. Hold up, High Flyer.
You just got away with it.
Here we go.
Ain't no team in the league geeked up 100% of the time, High Flyer. There's some nights you got to get it out of the mud. You slogging. And that's what they did. They tied the game up, forced overtime, had a chance at the 3-ball. Like, let's not act like they just lost to the Little Sisters of the Poor or something like that. They played hard. They gutted it out. They shouldn't even been in that game the way they were playing, High Flyer. This happens in the NBA. You, of all people, should know that, High Flyer. You're not going to be on point 82 games out of the year. You're going to have some rough times.
I'm not saying you are, but when you walk into an arena and 3 of the starters is not on that team, you can't let a guy come off the bench and have a Scotty Barnes type night. You can't. If you do that, you're not going to be successful, bro. If you do that, you're not a playoff bound team.
Nah, don't say that. The Celtics got beat by Charlotte last year. Same thing. Denver lost to San Antonio. First of all, people are asking, how come we can't see High Flyer? Say, punch High Flyer up. Hey, I need to look High Flyer right in the eyes when I'm talking to him.
The Celtics
behind the scenes, High Flyer. Where you at?
The Celtics record. Are you really going to compare the Celtics to the Kings? Yes, every team. Every team falls every once in a while. How many games can we bring up last year alone? You know, KD, let's go back to it. The Kings missed the playoffs by a couple of games. I could point out 6 to where we lost to undermanned teams. Now, that's the difference between making it and not. Now, you can point to the Celtics all you want to, bro. I hope you look at me in the eyes. The Celtics made it.
Hold up.
The Celtics made it.
You know as well as I do, though, there's probably 4, 5, 6 games that we could point to that they probably shouldn't have when they beat Minnesota at Minnesota without De'Aaron Fox.
That's gravy. That's gravy.
It's an 82-game
That's
season.
gravy.
Now,
it
if
is.
it becomes a trend, I'm with you. But it's one game. Calm down.
KD.
It's one game, big fella.
No, I can't calm down, KD, because we went through this all year last year. The thing about it is, yes, it's just one game, and then another one going to happen. It's just 2 games. Okay, it happened to be just 6 games, but we missed the playoffs by 3.
Let me ask you this, High Flyer.
Yeah.
Looking at the Kings so far, it's very early, 6 games. The Stars are playing a lot of minutes. We knew that. DeRozan and Domas last year played a ton of minutes. Fox plays a lot of minutes. But Fox and Keegan, so far this year, they're playing even more than they did last year. So is the problem that the bench just isn't performing, which is, for what it's worth, that's the way I lean, or is Mike Brown not giving the guys on the bench the chance to do more? And how big of an issue is that? Because that doesn't seem sustainable when you look at the minutes they're playing every night.
And, and you're just talking about Fox and Keegan. And I really wasn't worried about those two. Me and KD talked about it. I was more worried about Sabonis than anybody else as far as the long haul with the minutes. Now, there's no reason why that those guys should be logging big-time minutes, because we got a log jam at that 1, 2, maybe 3 position to where you got a lot of players that you could utilize. So I don't see why they're playing big-time minutes like that. Because, like I said, you do have talent coming off. You got Malik Monk coming off your bench, a guy that can play.
Yeah.
Okay? You got
Keon. You got 8 guys right now.
You got Keon Ellis coming off your bench, a guy that can play. You got McLaughlin coming off your bench, a guy that can play.
5 minutes in the last game for
him.
So,
you do have talent that you could utilize.
We also found out, well, we didn't find out, but there's indications that Colby Jones may start tonight because he's been, from what we hear at practice, he's wearing the black jersey. We don't know that, so we're waiting to hear. Well, we don't know that, High Flyer. That may not be correct. You don't seem too enchanted by that prospect. We don't know.
Come on, High Flyer.
Okay.
Come on, man. Put some respect on Kobe's name.
Because Herder, Drapes sharing with us, Kevin Herder is still ill.
He's still sick.
Out. Yeah.
You know what? And first of all, wish Kevin Herder a speedy recovery.
Yeah.
No doubt. I'm like, okay, you're going to put Kobe Jones at the 2. I mean, he put DeMar at the 2 last game. He put McBuckets at the 3. They didn't win. Okay. Kobe Jones, slide into the 2 spot. He'll start. My question is, and the guy has been here. He's been your guy. What's the problem with putting Malik Monk in that starting lineup, man? Just to see. We have Malik started a game since he's been in Sacramento?
No. Zero.
Yes, not.
So that's what I'm saying. At least put him in the starting lineup just to see KD, just one game, just 1 out of 82, and see how that works. I would love to see that.
What do you think, Drapes?
Well, how about this, fellas? How about this? Mike Brown and the Kings are going to be at Golden One Center on Wednesday. All these questions we asking here, let's go ask them. We got to find this out, right? Just familiar. How come no Malik? How come no Keon? How come, you don't do this? How come no Doug McDermott? What did you see? I mean, right now, we're just all guessing. I'm with you. I hear you. The thing about it is Malik hasn't started one single game in Sacramento.
One game.
Not one game. You would think that even a preseason game, dang, give me that.
Okay. No. Does that just bother you a little bit?
But let me
ask you. It doesn't bother me. It
doesn't bother me. I'll throw this at you right now. I'm going to hit you with this. If our bench is struggling now, when you got Malik coming off of it, what's going to happen when Malik is in the starting lineup and you ain't got nothing else coming off the bench? High fly.
That's it.
I roll with that. I roll,
as long as he's still playing a lot of minutes.
No, I roll with that too.
Yeah.
You know, whether he started, whether to come off the bench, long as he's playing minutes. But we're talking right now, Keon and De'Aaron is getting just drolled with minutes. Well, I really feel like Malik Monk could use some more minutes. And this is what I always say about when we really get into a situation of saying we need something off the bench. Well, if you can't start off right and you're down 20, something coming off the bench makes no difference because you're already down.
That's not the problem. The start
you're
ain't
already
the problem,
down.
High Flyer. High Flyer, they were leading 23-22 last game. They were on top last game with Doug McDermott as the starter. That's not the issue right now.
KD, we've been so sporadic. I mean, we went up against Atlanta and let them back in the game. Went up again against Atlanta and let them back in the game. We did the exact same thing in Toronto. Toronto make a run, we get up, let them right back in the game.
That was the whole game against Atlanta.
Yeah,
that was the whole game.
Yeah, let them
But
back.
that's not starters, right? That's not
Let them
starters'
back in the game.
problem, right?
Yeah, that's starters' problem. The starters were playing. Let them back in the game. I mean, at some particular point, you really have to close out games. I mean,
nah, man, come on.
We went in at halftime. We went in at halftime. We went in at halftime.
Big fella. Stop this.
We'll take a quick timeout. We'll get back to it, Henry. We'll give you your shot. We'll also tell you why we have such a strange start time tonight as the Drive Guys continue with game night approaching. It's a Drive Guys Sacktown Sports.
I would have had at least a boot and a quarter of my sock and some booty that night.
Stirring fiber, exercising, frequent trips to the store for more laxatives and fiber. Sounds like your constipation with belly pain is a lot to manage. But if your symptoms that keep coming back are signs of irritable bowel syndrome with constipation or IBS-C, ask your doctor how Linzess can help you get ahead of it. Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Despite having no experience, Gavin Newsom made Jessica Morse his, quote, wildfire specialist. The result? Under Newsom and Morse, insurance rates and utility bills skyrocketed. Millions of dollars were slashed from the state's fire prevention budget, and they were even caught lying about their record, while millions of acres burned and families lost their homes. Now Gavin has chosen Jessica Morse again, this time to run for Congress. We have a better choice. Kevin Kiley. As our congressman, Kevin Kiley has worked across party lines to secure millions for wildfire protection and expand water supplies. And Kevin Kiley's bill to protect Lake Tahoe will bring up to $415 million home to our district to reduce the threat of fires and restore the ecosystem of the lake, delivering results and making a difference. Let's keep Kevin Kiley working for us.
I'm Kevin Kiley. I approve this message. Paid for by Kevin Kiley for Congress.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Yeah, we got the Kings and the Miami Heat tonight. They start at 5:15. Why do they start at 5:15? It's because the NBA is taking tomorrow off in honor of the NFL trade deadline. And so we have 30 games tonight.
Wow.
And they're all starting well, not 30 games. All 30 teams play. There's not enough teams. 15 games. All 30 teams play. They start every 15 minutes. So it starts at 4, I think, with the Bucks. Then it's 4:15 is the next game. 4:30.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that's how they're doing. That's why we ended up with a 5:15 start time tonight.
Oh, got you.
Yeah. So I think they're figuring that can be something they can use to promote League Pass and the crunch time on the app. So it's a big, big, big night, Drapes. As you well know, big, heavy schedule for the NBA tonight.
Yeah, this is exciting, man. Everybody's playing tonight. Like you said, every 15 minutes, a tip off. And so this is a basketball lover's dream right here, man. It's going to be amazing. Every team in action. That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I like that because, for us, when we're doing our show, we're also score watching also, okay, seeing what's going on.
We'll be
so
busy tonight.
Yeah, to have that many games going is going to be cool.
Yeah. Now, I know when we went to break, you were in the middle of something, and if you're fine, great, but I want to make sure we give you a chance to address the point you were making.
No, you know what? We go back and forth and we banter a lot because, it makes for good sports talk. Because I'm going to always throw something back at Katie, and Katie will always throw something back at me. We're going to always throw something back at you. Because, like I said, it makes good sports talk. But at the end of the day, if this basketball team wants to be successful and get to where they need to be, they can't drop games like that. Whether it's the first game, second game, you can't do that. And I don't even want them to start getting comfortable with just saying, okay, on to the next game. Because we saw how of a minute number it took to knock you out of where you wanted to be.
Yeah, because it's so, again, in the West, it's so
it's going to be tight. It's going to be tight.
Yes, and it's early. But, Henry, I like to say in the West, it gets late early.
It catches up to you. It really does. It catches up to you.
Yeah. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Let's see what TC has to say. It's time for Check It with TC. Drive Guys. What's up, TC?
Mic check.
Oh, TC. Does he not know he's on? Is that him in the background?
I'm here. Y'all got me?
Yeah.
Y'all got me?
Yes, we got you. What's up?
High Flyer Drapes. What's up, man? Check it out, man. Hey, let's get to the bread and meat. Drapes, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. I love you. You my dog. High Flyer, I'm with you, man. Check it out. When you come in the gym, bro, you got to beat people, man. Listen, we was talking about these games last year with these dudes losing these games. Point blank, when you go into a game like that, I understand it's any given Sunday, any given NBA night, anybody can be beat, bro. But you got to go in and beat these teams.
I'm sorry. Yeah. TC, you're awfully muffled.
Listen, we had it. Listen.
There we go.
Hello?
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Go.
We had 1,000 chances to win this game. Let's get to the bread and meat. I'm not going to take any of y'all time up no more, bro. That was a bad shot. We want Fox to be a killer and be the guy, bro, but you got to swing that to Malik. Nobody's going to tell me about that shot could have went any other way other than pass that ball, bro. You're 0 for 9, dog. It's not your 1 for 2, 1 for 3. Swing that, dog. I know that's your swing that to the homie and let him knock that shot down so we can get the win, bro, and get out of here. Everybody dancing around that problem. That was the problem of that game, bro. Period, point blank. We got a chance to win tonight, and we're going to win tonight. But that was a bad shot by Fox, bro. Period.
What do you got?
That's all I got.
Yeah. KD, what do you think?
Just because you scream something, don't make it true. Don't, you know what I mean? And I'm same thing with High Flyer. Y'all just saying words right now. You guys are just saying words. First of all, TC, 2 years ago, you were living with that shot from De'Aaron Fox, clutch player of the year. He hit those shots. He just missed this one. Ain't no swing it to Monk. That's after the fact. That was a great look at an open three for De'Aaron Fox, top of the key. I'm not going to say you got to swing because you're arguing that's after the fact. I'm not doing that. In the High Flyer, you saying you got to win these games. I want you to go back. Let's look at every champion. I guarantee you they've lost games that they should have won. It happens. Now, like you said, if it becomes a trend, then we got an issue. But I'm not going to be like, oh, you got to win these games. Dog, we 6 games in. Is that what we doing right now already? You're killing me, man. 6.
Uh-oh.
High Flyer. They go out and win tonight. They 3-1 on the road trip. You feeling good? You happy with that?
I'm going to live with it, but I honestly thought that they should be 4-1 because they had a chance to go in and be the undermanned team. Katie, I understand things slip. We understand that. The point I'm making is that we went through this last year and we said it was just 1 of 82. Oh, you know what? It's just another one. It's just another one. We missed the playoffs by 3 games, bro.
You don't have the margin for error that Boston or the
you don't. You don't. We're not a championship team, KD. Stop trying to compete.
You're not listening, big
Stop.
fella.
I am listening. Okay.
You're not listening. I guarantee you, every team in the NBA this season will have some games that they should have won. Like,
True.
It happens, dude.
True.
This is
I know it
the
does.
first one where we could say, damn, we should have had this one against a lesser team. But that's going to happen with every team in the NBA, guys. And if we're going to act like they can't get to where they want to go to off of one loss against Toronto, what's going to happen next month when they lose another game they probably should? It happens, boys. That's all I'm saying.
It does happen.
What did you think of TC's point about Fox and the shot? A lot of people are saying, oh,
you know
De'Aaron
what?
needs to hit, swing it to Malik there.
I roll two ways with that. I mean, you know what? It's definitely a coach's call, and it's definitely an all-star player's call. You know, at this particular point, Fox, what did Fox go from the three-point line?
0 for 11.
0 for 11.
0 for 11. Okay. Now, this is just me. I'm not De'Aaron Fox. I ain't never played at the level of De'Aaron Fox. All right. I've never been a clutch player of the year. But my thing is this. I know when it's my night and when it ain't my night. Even if the coach draws the play up for me, I might get in the coach ear real quick and say, Coach, and especially if somebody else is warm. Like let's just say if Keegan was hot and I'm not, you might draw the play up for me because I'm the all-star player. But if Keegan was knocking down the shots at a very high clip, you know what, Coach? I'll be a second option. Let's see if we can get that ball to Keeks first. But I'm fine with De'Aaron Fox taking that shot.
Yeah, to me, that's one of the things that makes him De'Aaron Fox is when he has that chance, he's not going to shy away with it. If he's on the floor and it was a great look, he's going to pull the trigger.
I'm fine with that. I really am.
And you guys know, ain't no star player in the league when that shot is available is thinking, oh, man, I'm 0 for 10. Maybe I shouldn't shoot this.
No.
They're trying to make what they think is the right play.
No, true.
And De'Aaron thought, forget about 0 for 10. He's the star player. Star players, if they 0 for 15, it don't matter. Star players, they're allowed to shoot the rock.
No, the stats.
What do you need?
I want to see your stats.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. That's true. No, I want to see like, okay, nobody really shot the ball well from 3 point.
No.
So I'm
nobody
with
in a Kings jersey.
No, I mean even Malik Monk went 3 for 7. Okay, nobody shot the ball well. So yeah, you ride with De'Aaron on that shot. But if you got somebody that's hot, that's really rolling from the 3-point line,
you want to look for him.
You want to look
what
for
a point guard does.
You want to look for him, exactly. But like I said, I have no problem with De'Aaron taking it at all.
Let's see what Vinny has on his mind. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Vinny, you're on with the Drive Guys.
Hey,
Hi, Flyer. What's up?
What's going on, fellas? Hey, I just wanted to chime in because I've been listening. I've been hearing a lot of people say a reoccurring thing. I agree with Drapes. You know, we shouldn't trip out unless it becomes a trend. But it is becoming a trend. It's becoming a trend if we look at last season losing to underranked teams. And there is no set 6 men coming off the bench if your team is not performing at optimum efficiency. It'd be one thing if we won the championship or we made the playoffs last year. You have certain players pegged for certain positions. But right now it's all hands on deck. And if a player ain't starting well, you sit him down. Let him be the one that comes off the bench. But we need to put our best 5 on the floor, best defenders on the floor, so we're not handicapping ourselves with someone that can't guard or a position that's continually getting taken advantage of and letting these leads come back on us.
Thank you, Vinny. And I think that's the number one reason why the Kings seem like they lose more games to bad teams than they should. I just don't think they're very good defensively. But what do you think of Vinny's point there, Drapes?
You know, here's the thing, man, about the starting lineup. Whether it's Doug McDermott tonight, Kobe Jones, I don't care who it is. That's not the issue with this team right now. I'm looking at the numbers from the Raptors game. Kings were down 37-29 against the Raptors in that first quarter. He's on the floor at the end of the first quarter when the Raptors, when they were down 24-23, and then they close on a, 23-22, they close on a 15-6 run. It was Malik Monk, Keon Ellis, Trey Lyles, De'Aaron Fox, and Domantas Sabonis. So it's not about who's starting that, fellas. It's not about that. Like we arguing a point that isn't even relevant right now. Come on, I don't care who starts at the 2. It's not about that. They got off a good start. So whoever started, Doug McDermott or whoever, it was fine. It was then the bench came in. It was then finish out. We need to string together more consistency. It's not about who's starting at the 2. We don't need to spend 2 hours arguing that. Consistency, that's what we need. 48 minutes.
You know what? I'm with you on that. Let me roll this past you, KD, and tell me when one of these names light a fire up under you. Davion Mitchell, Grady Dix, Jacoby, Okaya, RJ Barrett.
Dude, I like those players. Come on, don't disrespect RJ Barrett.
I'll wait. Okay,
Grady
I'm with
Dick
you.
Just had 30 and then 31. Grady Dick over his last 2 coming in was averaging 30.5 points, high flyer. These guys ain't stiffs. They're not bums.
I'm not saying they're bums. I just said let me know when one of these guys light a fire up under you.
So let me ask you.
You didn't mention Boucher.
Boucher. We didn't want to even talk about Boucher. Right.
He was unbelievable.
Right. Chris Boucher.
So when you
24.
played, no reserve ever had a good game against you. No reserve ever had a good game against you.
I'm not saying they didn't. All I'm saying is that if you want to get to where you have to go, you can't Grady Dix, they did a great job on Grady, if you ask me. He only shot 6 for 17.
Yeah, they did fine.
Hey, to Kyle's point.
That messed me up.
To Kyle's point, Grady Dix, they shut him down. They did a great job on him. But you let Jacoby give you 13 and Okacha give you 22. Okay, let's say if RJ Barrett is an all-star type player. He gave you 31. He played very well. And then Boucher comes off the bench and gives you 24.
Boucher. Yes.
Go
Go ahead,
Whitey. Go ahead. No,
I was going to go to break.
Boucher is the one that changed the game.
Yes.
He came in and changed everything. Hitting threes, running the floor. I'm with you. Grady Dick, Davion. All right. But you can't let Chris Boucher get going. That's the one to me that killed us the other night.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up. We got game night coming up, and up next we'll share some numbers that show you just how unbelievably dominant the 3-ball has become for everybody except the Kings. Next, Sacktown Sports.
The Beam Team plays here.
How many times I seen that beam lit up when I was chilling at home? What's the significance of pushing this button? You know, like I said, when it saws off.
We live and breathe Sacramento Kings basketball.
Live and local with the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys.
This is your home for the Sacramento Kings. Sacktown Sports 1140.
The holidays can be tough for some, especially if things from your past are still following you around to this day. Now, don't be afraid of your past this upcoming holiday season, as an expungement can help. And that's where the law offices of Jonathan Gonzalez comes in, as he's local and has a great track record. Now that expungement can help you get a job, get your life back in order, and you'll also get your constitutional rights back. He's offering discounts on expungements now through Christmas. Call 916-304-9187. That's 916-304-9187.
Don't you deserve healthcare you can count on? Well, you can count on United Healthcare with Medicare plans that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. You can enjoy reliable coverage and low out-of-pocket costs with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans. Made for California, trusted everywhere. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today.
Welcome back to another exciting game day. Grab your rally towels, throw on your jerseys, cheer, shout, and save on your gas. That's right, sports fans win big on home game days. Score instant savings of 25 cents per gallon on Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline with the Fuel Rewards program. And that's a victory for you and your tailgate team. Download the app, join the Fuel Rewards program today, and game on. Restrictions apply. Limited time. And participating Shell stations. For more details, visit fuelrewards.com.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Carmichael Dave here from my good friends at American Energy. Cool weather, if not cold weather, is in our future. You know that. It'll eventually get there, and American Energy wants to make sure your system is operating safely and properly. So now is the time to take advantage of the $49 fall tune-up inspection. That's regularly $119, but includes a full safety and duct inspection. And if your system's over 10 years old, it's free. The tune-up is on American Energy. Give them a call right now. They're offering $50 off your first recommended repair, or if you need a new furnace, that's half off the price of a new unit. American Energy been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You can check them out at theaeway.com for an instant quote. That's theaeway.com. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Paid for by government. Now is the time to fill your vault with Morgan Silver Bars. Grab your piece of America's silver legacy with this special offer. These spectacular shining silver bars featuring a crisp image of the iconic Morgan silver dollar, a legendary coin that has captivated collectors for generations. Americans treasure owning silver bars and coins, putting them away for themselves and their loved ones. Call now to secure 1-ounce silver bars minted in 99.9% pure silver and made in the USA. You'll be glad you did. Hurry, don't miss out on this special deal. Save $10 per silver bar. The more you buy, the more you save. Limit of 25 bars per customer. Call to learn more. Plus, with qualifying orders, you'll receive a free Morgan Silver Dollar. That's a $59.95 value and free shipping. Call 1-800-222-3967 now to secure your 1-ounce Morgan Silver Dollar bars. That's 1-800-222-3967.
Like the beam for Sacramento Kings. We the beam team, hey. Like the beam for Sacramento Kings. Like the beam. Like the beam for Sacramento Kings. We the beam team.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Henry Turner's figured it all out. It's the Drive Guys. We got Drapes getting ready for his pre- and post-game duties. The High Flyers here. He and Scott Marsh take over for game night. Just coming up a few minutes here. But I'm just looking at some numbers here. The league so far has taken about 42% of all shots from the three-point range, which would be the highest ever. Boston right now, 54.8 of all their attempts.
Wow.
About 55% of their shots are threes.
Wow.
55% of their shots are threes right now. And I know it's early. Minnesota's at 51%. You also got Orlando, 50.1%. Brooklyn, 49.4%. And Charlotte at 48.4%. The Kings are at about 39%. But Henry hit the nail on the head, Drapes, as we talk about this guy should be starting, that guy should be playing more. What about this game or that loss? And Henry said it just a few moments ago to Jay, like they got to shoot better. They got to make shots.
That's where it is.
Yeah.
You know what? If the Kings, and KD, tell me if I'm wrong, if the Kings were shooting the three ball better, we wouldn't have no type of conversation about nothing.
Right.
Because they will be winning games.
100%, man. Because when you look at that Raptors, you ain't going to be too many teams shooting 25% from the field, from three-point range. You got to knock down some shots. It's a make-miss league, no doubt.
Yeah, and especially when you're giving up so many, you're getting killed at the three-point line.
And see, and that was the thing. The year that we came in third, it wasn't like we played great defense. We just knocked down shots.
Mm-hmm.
They shot the ball big time, and they was knocking shots down. So, yeah, you can score 135, 140 was no problem, and you can still give up 120 because you was outscoring them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But now the shots aren't falling, and now it's like, oh, well, you know, your defense has to jumpstart your offense. You're asking something from the defense that you're not really getting.
Yeah, Mike Brown said after the last game, he said, we're getting good looks. They just didn't go in. You agree with that for the most part? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Drapes? They're getting good shots?
No, I feel like it. I mean, even De'Aaron's last shot, I think that's, you know, and this was a problem last year at times, fellas.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like you get good looks and don't knock them down. And Doc Rivers always said it was a make or miss league. Obviously, Kevin Huerter helps with that. But where's our boy Keegan Murray? We need him to refine his shot, because he had a number of good looks, 2 of 6 from 3. Guys are just missing right now. Like, no way De'Aaron should go 0 for 11. It happened. It's one of those nights. But DeMar took 7 threes. Keegan 2 of 6. I mean, everybody was missing. Nobody, other than Malik, 3 of 7, which is halfway decent. But, it's such a big part of who they want to be, too. Like, Mike Brown always talks about the spray threes, right, Whitey? If you ain't knocking them down, it don't matter what threes you get.
Well, you probably heard him, Drapes. Mike Brown, after last game, he said, they play like we want to play. They're getting in the paint and getting those spray threes. They were doing what we want to do. And another guy, and I think you mentioned Friday, that last year Trey Lyles was, at 38%?
Yeah.
And I know I'm always every year, Trey Lyles has got to get going. But they need him to start making shots.
And you know what? And I will say this. I'm going to come to De'Aaron's defense. Yeah, he shot the ball 0 for 11. I have no problem with that, because on certain nights, it's going to be that way. Now, I would have had a problem if he would have shot 0 for 2, because he is our guy. And at least you showing me, you're giving me a chance, brother. You out there, you trying. I mean, how many times do we had Harrison Barnes who sat in the corner for 31 minutes and went 2 for 3? At least De'Aaron giving us what he can.
Got the bad fingers, though.
He's trying.
Know how much trouble that's giving him.
It might be giving him a problem, Whitey, but you know what? The dude is out there trying to make it. You only gonna miss so many shots. If you don't take any, that's when I got a problem. De'Aaron, let it fly, bro.
Right.
Let it go.
And like Mike said, they were good looks. The issue I had was too much dribbling one-on-one, especially late. De'Aaron, Malik, DeMar to an extent. Mike Brown wants those spray threes, the driving kicks. Like, you shouldn't be going one-on-one guarded by Davion Mitchell. I'm sorry.
I'm glad.
That's not a good proposition.
I'm glad you mentioned Malik, because we're all thrilled that he's here and we all love him, and he's done so much for the Kings, and he plays point guard better than we realized. But he did that again. I think you mentioned the Drapes. He did it in the Minnesota game, the home opener. He did it, I think, in the fourth quarter of Toronto, where no passes. He'll get the ball, inbound it, dribble up the floor, and he'll just let it fly. And it's like, at least try to get it. If you don't make the shot, you got to at least try to get in your offense, right?
But gentlemen, let's talk about this. The majority of your drive and sprays come in transition, dog. When you're looking at a set offense, it's kind of hard to drive a basketball then kick out for threes. A lot of those drives to the basket, get into the paint and spray out for 3 is in transition after you got rebounds, turnovers, and deflections. I'm sorry, it has to start on that defensive end.
They're not rebounding especially well as that, because they're just not big enough.
Yeah. Let me can I ask High Flyer a quick question?
Yeah.
Because this is one of the things that I'm worried about when I watch the team down the stretch. You got DeMar, he's a closer. De'Aaron, closer. Malik tries to be a closer. Do they need to identify one closer and run everything through him, that person? Or is it okay closer by commit, seems like we have right now?
KD, once again, stuff like that is really going to have to be worked out between players, and
some of it while they're playing, right?
It's got to be while you're playing.
Yeah.
Certain nights, think about this. Players we know when Malik is cooking. We know when he's cooking. So at a certain time, hey, man, Malik, you go right ahead, bro. You cooking, and you can be a closer. Same thing with DeMar. DeMar, you on fire right now. You done hit your last 3. Keep giving that guy the ball. It has to be a basketball IQ and a certain mentality to where who's doing what out there on the basketball floor. All 3 of you guys are equally adept at being closers. It's all about who's being hot. And if you get 2 people on you, then you find the open guy.
Let me ask you, though, and I agree 100% with you, but what I see is our team not recognizing who's got it going, where everybody thinks they have the mismatch. And so how do you solve that, high flyer?
You know what, KD? Like I'm looking at these stats right now. Honestly, and I'm gonna use your word. Honestly, big fella, nobody had it going. So it was basically who gonna try to be Superman and win this game for us?
Mm-hmm. What do you make of this? Hamburger Dad in the chateau. He says closer by committee is better because then you are unpredictable. What do you think of that? You have to be predictable on your end, though. You have to know. Yeah, but you have to know what you're doing.
Well, the thing about it is that everybody in the arena can know the ball is coming to De'Aaron, but you just can't give the ball to De'Aaron and say, make something happen. You have to run some diversity out there, get some divergence, some back screens. Maybe somebody slip. Maybe somebody make a miscue. We talked about it on defense. Maybe two guys run to the ball, and then you find something. You just can't give De'Aaron the ball and say, okay, D, make it happen.
Right. All right, Drapes, you'll be coming home tonight. You'll see that beam lit over the Sacramento sky. You're back in studio with us tomorrow, right?
Yes, back tomorrow.
Awesome.
Looking forward to it.
Awesome. Have a great pre and post. We'll be watching. Stick around. You got the high flyer, Henry Turner and Scott Marsh getting you ready for the Kings and the Miami Heat.
KD, salute.
It's up next right here on Sacktown Sports.
Cause this I am.